Today, we're talking about one of the most discussed topics in the world of marketing today, which is AI. Not just AI, we're trying to add a little more detail to the regular AI conversations that happen on the internet all the time. So, we are talking about personalization in AI. It is very important to understand personalization has become very important, way more important than anything else today. When you send out a message to the market saying that this is for everybody, which means you're talking to nobody, you need to be very specific in talking to the John. You need to be very specific in talking to the Michael, the David, the Elizabeth, the Srikant, the Ramesh, the Suresh. You need to be talking to everybody and you need to be talking to them in their language. And that is exactly what AI in personalization does. If you're talking to everybody, then you're talking to nobody. So that brings us to the topic of today, which is AI in personalization has become very important. And also remember, AI is not magic. It is just a supremely smart solution which is capable of learning things from the data that you present to it. For example, it is not a plug and play system where you plug it and then your cash register starts ringing or your payment gateway gets filled with payments. All that happens with AI is you are training a system that is capable of learning things so faster, so efficiently, and in such a smart manner that it would be able to leverage these learnings to predict the outcomes for you going forward. All in all, AI is just a super smart system that is very good with learning things and predicting things for you in the days, months, years to come. It learns from your own data and then predicts things for you based upon the data that you have fed into the system. Which means if you feed the bad data, you get bad predictions out. So you need to remember that you need to teach the system right things and provide it with the right points of data for it to go ahead and make sure that it predicts outcomes in an accurate fashion or predictions that may be very suited to grow your business depending upon your circumstances. 63% of consumers in the world today feel personalization has become a standard and your marketing needs to reflect that. They're not willing to listen to you if you're not personalizing things enough for them. Making this would involve analyzing tons of data and customizing it according to every individual. It is not a one-to-many message now, it is a one-to-one messaging that needs to happen. And how do you think that will happen with such enormous amounts of data? And if you intend to do it manually, like we used to do it a couple of years ago, you can only do so much, and it is the most inefficient systems in today's world. This is exactly where AI comes into play because it is capable enough to start learning, start predicting, and start executing things at scale when it comes to personalization. AI systems today, along with the ML algorithms, are capable of executing things based upon the real-time data, executing things based upon data in real time as well. Now that is something. An AI system uses factors like demographics, it uses previous history, it uses browsing history, it uses purchase history, it uses your behavior, it uses your other targeting mechanisms to go ahead and find as much information about you as an individual and start, when I say individual, I'm talking about a consumer, and then it starts going out and predicting things into the real world as far as your audience is concerned. So on that note, I've put together a small example where if you look at your screens, you will see a business which is highlighted in blue, something that looks like a shop. Now, if this is your shop and if you're leveraging email service or an email software as a tool for personalizing AI, this is exactly what happens. The first thing that will happen is data collection. The systems collect as much as data based upon the demographics, based upon the interests, based upon the browsing history. Once all the data is collected, it gets into the segmentation part. Now it segments the data based upon different behaviors. For example, some of these audiences may be first-time visitors. Some of them may be repeat visitors. Some of them are people who are interested in tech products. Some of them may be interested in fashion products that is being sold on your website. So based upon these preferences, interests, behaviors, the AI systems classify them into different segments. Once you have different segments, then AI understands how important it is to tailor make personalized content. Let's say you have a 10% off on tech products, and if you have a 40% off on fashion products, it is very important for the AI system to craft the messaging accordingly so that people interested in tech would see a 10% discount voucher or a landing page that talks about that, and people who are interested in fashion would see a 40% discount on certain products that are related to that category, and they should see relevant pieces of content pertaining to the products that they're interested in. Now, do you see where we are going? From a day and time where we used to have one emailer sent across to a million other people just a couple of years ago, not so long ago. Now we are able to look at an individual, identify the patterns, identify the behaviors, identify the previous visits that they had on our website, tailor making content pertaining to a specific discount that would be given on that particular product. Now, this is insane. And it is only possible through AI, if you ask me. Now, once you have the segmented audience and once you have tailor made the content that is personalized to their preferences, then you will go ahead and start looking at optimizing the subject line for that matter. Now you will go ahead and optimize other aspects of your email marketing journey or email marketing journey. Now you will go ahead and optimize the times that these emailers need to go out. So based upon all these things, AI is giving a personalized solution to each and every consumer that you interact with through your email marketing software, which is enabled to personalize with AI. The next thing that we need to look at is this is exactly what happens. This is the behind the scenes look of what happens with AI and personalization. So if you look at all these things, what can AI personalized systems do? They on your top left, you will see email and marketing, email and messaging. So emailing and messaging is typically probably one of the most used use cases of personalizing, because every emailer will come to you with your first name in it. It will talk about your behavior. It will talk about your history. It will talk about your previous orders, your preferences, your interests, etc. So how is that possible? It collects data, as we said. It will segment the data. It will tailor make the message. It will optimize the subject line. It will also look at what times are best suited to send you the emailers. And that is exactly the data behind all the madness. Now, the second thing that these systems can do is forecasting, because they can predict your behaviors based upon all the data points that you are providing the system with. And once all these data points are in place, the AI systems are in a better position to predict the outcomes based upon your consumers or your potential leads behavior. Then you have recommended systems. I don't need to talk to you about recommendation systems because you see it every day. You see it with Amazon, you see it with Netflix, you see it with Spotify, you see it with any other store that you're looking at, right? You see it with Facebook. I mean, how is Facebook recommending friends to you of somebody who you interacted with in the past? All you did was have probably take a phone, probably speak over the phone with them, and now AI is recommending you that, do you know this guy? Are they friends, right? You see it all the time on Netflix, LinkedIn, wherever you go. Now, these recommendation systems are very, very, very important because they are looking at things closely depending on your behaviors, and then they're recommending these things to you, whether it is a product or a service or anything for that matter. Then you have dynamic websites. Now, dynamic websites is one. I think probably I'll make another video entirely on dynamic websites. But this is an astounding thing that is happening in the world of AI personalization today, because there are two people who visit the same website, but they're shown two different pieces of content based upon their previous interactions. Now, this in a way is so impressive that you don't. It's like they know you, right? It's like these companies know much more about you than you know about yourself. Now, these systems are optimized and personalized based upon your location, based upon your previous behaviors, based upon certain offers that you may be interested in, or maybe the pricing. Maybe you checked the product in the past, you did not buy it. Now there's a price drop in the product, and they're recommending it to you. It could be anything. Now, this is really amazing, if you ask me. Then you have sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis probably is the most important use case in terms of customer service today. Now, imagine you have booked a cab with Uber and the guy overcharged you, and you are pissed about the whole thing. So what you decided to do was you decided to go to Uber, talk to somebody and complain that you were overcharged. Now, Uber, being Uber or any other business today, is so busy that they can't assign a human to talk to you. They send you to a chatbot. Now, what would you type in the chatbot? You would say, the guy, my Uber driver overcharged me and he was rude to me, and my Uber guy overcharged me and I don't like it a bit. So please refund my money back. Now, with the tone that you are using, with the NLP technology that we have today, which is natural language processing, the system kind of understands that you are in an irate mood. You're an irate customer now. So it understands that this is coming from a whole different level. Now you get sent to a chatbot which has got a very empathetic tone now, because it understood the sentiment of where you're coming from. you're an irate customer, you're irritated, you're pissed about something. Agreed, it's the Uber guy's fault, but you're pissed. So now you are sent through a very empathetic flow of conversations that happens in a very carefully designed chatbot. How was that done? That was done using AI. So these are the different cases of use cases of AI in personalization. And in my opinion, any business, whether small, medium, or big, can leverage on these solutions. And you can at least you can start with an email and messaging system, right? Because that you can start personalizing from that level, and you can gradually work your way up. Do not forget that 63% of people feel that personalization is a standard and they don't take anything less than that. Thank you so much and happy journey with personalizing for your consumers. I wish you good luck. Cheers.